Lately, I've been getting a lot of questions on my videos, especially from you newcomers, asking how it's possible that I identify as a liberal, or at least someone who's always identified himself as left of center. How the fuck are you a liberal? I must be missing something. You are using logic and not shutdown words because you can't formulate a logical opinion. Well, thank you. That's a fair question, and one I actually ask myself frequently after reading each day's latest social justice nonsense. But when I say I identify with the left, specifically what I mean is I identify with the economic left. The issue that has always been the most important to me is making sure working people get a square deal and the middle class is financially healthy. Historically, liberal or democratic candidates have spoken to that issue more to my satisfaction, and so generally I've aligned with that side of the aisle. But economics are only one axis of the political spectrum, and the axis today's left seems to care less and less about. Today's left is less and less about jobs, taxes, public investment, and more about identity politics. What color skin you have, what equipment is between your legs, who you like to sleep with at night. What this means is we aren't arguing about money, we're arguing about culture. This is a trend Milo Yiannopoulos explains particularly well.
What I want is a sort of new political realignment on libertarian authoritarian lines rather than left and right. And I want a new consensus to emerge of disaffected liberals, classical liberals, dissident minorities like gays, small state conservatives, libertarians, people who basically want to be left alone. And this election is the first election in American history that is being fought not on foreign policy and not on economics. It's being fought culturally.
To give you an illustration of what he means, here's where I align on the political compass, near the center of the left libertarian quadrant, meaning that while I score left of center on economic philosophy, I am a cultural libertarian. The regressive left, the social justice warriors, the big reds, the AIDS Skrillexes, whatever you want to call them, they fit up in the authoritarian left quadrant. So while we may have some agreement on economic philosophy, we are at opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to issues like restricting certain speech, like restricting certain art, like the overall question of whether words can be damaging or if thought police are a good idea. And we've seen examples of this type of leftist authoritarianism intensify over the last year or so. Students at Mizzou and other universities have issued demands to school administration to police campus for the use of certain insensitive words. At Western Washington University, students want the ability to fire faculty for the use of problematic terms or language. We've seen feminists demand that speakers with opposing viewpoints be deplatformed and reporters be banned from using certain words to describe female candidates for office. The controversy at Yale arose from students trying to police Halloween costumes on campus for cultural appropriation, or adopting elements of a culture that isn't yours. And on this issue, on who is or is not allowed to participate in certain aspects of certain culture, some of the leftist policemen get really agitated. The viral example this week comes from San Francisco State University, where a young woman got physically aggressive with a young man for having the wrong hairstyle.
You're saying that I can't have a hairstyle because of your culture? Why?
Because it's my culture. You know what belongs to me.
Do you know it was in Egyptian culture? Are you Egyptian? Nah, bro, you're not.
Are you Egyptian?
No, but doesn't matter.
Wait, where's Egypt? Tell me.
You know what, girl?
Where's Egypt?
Dude, girl, you have no right to tell me what I can not wear. Yo, girl, stop touching me right now.
Yo, girl, stop touching me right now. Come back.
Get off of me.
Come back, come back, come back. You put your hands on me, no worries.
Well, what? Like, you're gonna make some shit because of what the hair I have? That's no reason, yo. I don't need your disrespect. I don't need your disrespect.
Why are you filming this?
Just for everyone's safety.
So many questions. A few weeks back, I went out to eat at a sushi place in town, and I was served by a Hispanic waitress. Is it cultural appropriation for me, the white guy, to seek Japanese food? Is it cultural appropriation for the server, a Hispanic woman, to serve Japanese food. They've got a burger on the menu at this Japanese restaurant. Is it okay for me to order that? But what if a Japanese chef makes it? Is he then appropriating my culture? Should I write a blog post shaming him? What about Rachel Dolezal? Like Dreadlock Guy, she clearly adopts African culture, so much so that she faked being black. But you mean to tell me someone who was president of an NAACP chapter, someone who devoted her life to the advancement of colored people, to the advancement of that culture, hasn't earned enough credit within that culture to curl her hair if she wants to, or to wear her hair however she wants? What about interracial marriage? Is that cultural appropriation? If anyone objects, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, this marriage is problematic.
My friend Stacy and I were talking on Twitter, and she asked me if a college girl initiates sex with a man without express consent, is that rape culture appropriation? Yeah. My culture. We see this type of absurd policing more and more every day, but this behavior and this philosophy couldn't be in greater opposition to classical liberalism, to being a cultural libertarian, to live and let live so long as you aren't harming others. As Milo explained, this election is not being framed on this axis, the economic axis. It is being framed on this axis, the cultural axis. For people like me, we have to decide which one of these sides is more important. While I have always stood for good jobs, for a square deal for working people, for responsible public investment, I stand even stronger for the right to say what you want, to be who you want, to live the life that you want. To be the white guy with dreads or to be the black girl with straightened hair. For the Japanese guy to make Whitey a burger if he wants one, and to make as many jokes about all of it as you damn well please. And if you ask me to choose between that philosophy and something else, I will choose cultural freedom every single time. And that is a culture I wish you authoritarians would start appropriating. Thanks as always for listening and for supporting this channel. Always appreciate that thoughtful discussion down below, and especially over on Twitter. That is at skag_3. You're always welcome to come hang out and chat in my live stream. That is linked down in the description. Looking forward to it. Okay, bye.